Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Riverhead School Board meeting, Tuesday, November 29th, 2022. Can I have a motion to return to open session? Thank you, Virginia. Could I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Matt. All in favor? Motion passes. Could we all rise for the pledge and welcome our NJROTC color guard? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Others? Ready? But, height. Ace. Oh, arch. All out.
Opportunity for our high school student representatives.
Good evening. My name is Ayla Daly. Today, my classmates and I will be discussing some of the issues worked on in Mr. Guadagnino's SUPA Public Affairs class. Through modules, we get to choose our own societal category and work on it within local levels to find solutions to these issues. First, I will be discussing the recent issue of the school closing the bathrooms, which limited students' use to bathrooms during the interchanging periods as well as the first and last 10 minutes of the period. The reason behind this was because of the various problems happening in the bathroom, such as vandalism, loitering, and vaping, as well as lack of supervision by security. But after I released a survey to students on their opinion about the bathroom issue, I immediately brought the complaints to administration. Mr. O'Hara and I worked to resolve this issue and identify that there was a lack of communication between administration and security. It is now clear that the bathrooms will remain open during all school hours unless under repair or maintenance. This is an important issue that I am happy to help with and be involved with because locking the bathrooms not only violates state policy, but can potentially lead to major health and feminine issues. And here at the Riverhead High School, we want to provide our students with a comfortable, safe, and accessible environment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Nunez, and I am here to speak about the current busing issue we are having at our school. To begin, I would like to say that at the moment, we only have a 4:15 bus, even though most clubs end at 3 p.m. And kids are left an hour to do, they're left unsupervised, not, which is I'm sorry,
Take a breath.
which is not only a safety issue as it can lead to possible fights and possible vandalism as well, but it also limits students' time to for other after-school activities and completing homework assignments. I would also like to mention that the wait time mostly discourages students from participating in other after-school clubs. As myself, last year I couldn't participate in many after-school activities because of the 4:15 bus. I got home pretty late because they also pick up students from the middle school, which is an extra 30 minutes. So I get home at 5:30 and I can't do other clubs and volunteering services or studying and extra homework. Just Thank you for, I can't.
Thank you.
You did great. You're welcome.
Good evening. My name is Connor Moose, and I am a senior here at the high school. I would first like to thank Mr. O'Hara for providing this opportunity to us. We have been holding weekly meetings with him to consider our concerns at the high school and to discuss areas that need attention and refinement. He is a great resource to us as we hope to improve the student experience in the high school for all students. An issue we have been primarily discussing is the overcrowding of the high school. Our school's overcrowding presents various safety issues and concerns, and we have been coming up with resolutions to ease the concentration of students and staff in the halls. This includes creating a new sidewalk from the exit doors between the cafeteria and the mouth wing directly to the south portables. The return of classroom space within these south portables has had an immensely positive impact on our school, allowing the school to broaden its range of elective classes. However, the current route to enter these south portables is from the chorus hallway, which increases the number of students in the main throughway near the cafeteria by nearly 200 students. Furthermore, we have discussed venturing into the idea of installing an exit door inside the nurse's office. If you may not know, if there is a medical emergency in the school, the fire doors in the main hallway are shut to allow access from the nurse's office to the ambulance staging area near the dumpsters. Having this main throughway closed causes recklessness and loitering in the halls between students, creating near gridlock conditions in the intersections, as well as resulting in an extreme lateness for nearly all students. As we work to create resolutions to redistribute paths in the halls, we understand that this cannot be a one-man job. We kindly ask for the support of the board and administrators within the district office to aid in these necessary projects we are working towards. And now we will be discussing some achievements in the school. So from our music department, we would like to congratulate Brian Enos and Melissa Garcia. Brian has been selected to participate in the All Eastern Honor Band as a bass trombonist. Melissa Garcia has been selected to participate in the 2023 All County Percussion Ensemble. We have just received notification from the United States Department of the Navy that the Riverhead High School NJROTC has been designated as a distinguished unit with honors for the 2022-2023 school year, due to the exceptional achievement of the unit during the last school year. As well, this year, the unit continues to demonstrate excellence as they placed second overall in the Berthel, Connecticut drill meet on Saturday, November 19th. Furthermore, select seniors, including myself, with the Foreign Language Department, have received our application packets to receive a seal of biliteracy on our diplomas and are working with our advisors to complete this sought-after and admirable achievement. And lastly, the Riverhead Junior Varsity and Varsity Men's Athletes team won both of their Jeopardy-style quiz bowl competitions last month against William Floyd High School.
We would like to thank our Key Club, senior class, Mr. Moore, Mrs. McGray, and Mrs. Nigrell, who helped to provide a complete Thanksgiving meal for 50 local families. We would like to especially thank the Peconic County Brewery, who donated over 50 turkeys for this distribution. From the sports department, our varsity winter track team has gained more participants than ever since the start of COVID, and we look forward to a very successful season. In addition to this, last Friday, our French club took its first field trip to the Huntington Theater to see Sarah's Key since the start of COVID. Lastly, I would like to share with you the start of a new club I created, advised by Mrs. Timpone. It is called Healthy University. Our goal is to spread the power of positivity and promote optimism throughout our school, and to provide a safe space for students, as well as to promote respect in topics such as relationships and friendships and how to keep them healthy. Do you have any questions for us?
Board members?
Nope.
No questions, hon. Thank you. You did a great job.
Yeah, thanks for all the information.
Thank you for all the information. You did a wonderful job. Thank you.
Well, Colin has something. Lori.
No, all I want to say, oh, just that, geez, that was loud. All I want to say is the issues that the three of you brought up at the beginning, I mean, those are not easy to, talk to anyone about. There's a kind of I know, when I was your age, there was a feeling of like, you're powerless, you're not yet an adult, you're a kid, but, you guys have a lot more going for you than I think most people give you credit for, and that is evidence of that. So thank you for bringing those up. I mean, of the three issues that you have, I mean, the first one,
They resolved.
you were able to resolve it, and the other two, you know, bringing your concerns about it, I think will lead to resolutions in the future. So thank you very much for that. Yes.
And I just want to applaud you for researching and looking into regulations and what your rights are. And then, because with knowing your regulations and knowing the law, that is how you advocate, because you can't deny what's there in print. So that's, I've always said that's where you always go for anything that you need, educational or anywhere else. And when you were bringing up, you were saying the new sidewalks, what was the other issue? I was trying to understand. We had a new sidewalk, but it was creating.
Right.
Yeah.
So with the addition of the South Portables as classroom space, once again, students, in order to enter them safely with security guards escorting them, is right in this hallway over here past the chorus classroom. And the most saturated hallway in this school is right here in front of the cafeteria. So with speaking with Mr. O'Hara, we found out like it adds another 200 students in that hallway, which is quite a lot because, you know, in between periods passing, that hallway is, like I said, it's gridlock. It's really difficult to get through, and it does present some safety issues. So we were looking into creating a sidewalk from another exit to allow students to enter the South Portables and to let them completely bypass this cafeteria hallway.
Okay, so another sidewalk. All right, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, we're going to move on to public comments on agenda items. Anybody? I know we got one, Ms. Lisa?
Okay, there was a comment or question sent in by Kimberly Wilder from Riverhead concerning the homebound instruction rules. Was there a reason these have been updated? Were there problems with the old policy, and or was there a policy? Also, two of the items could be a burden to families in need. One, why must a student with a chronic condition need to be reviewed every 30 days? That seems like it might worry or burden a family who already has a sick child. Maybe it should say something like, will be reviewed every 30 days or at longer intervals if there is an agreement between doctor, school, and family. The district should be at the service of families dealing with illness who still value education. Number two, eligibility due to medical reasons. It seems like a tedious process for the family doctor to fill out paperwork and then the school physician to evaluate and discuss with family's doctor or do separate evaluation. Why isn't a doctor's word good enough? Why would you want to slow down a family getting help? Also, it is difficult to get a doctor's time, so the district might be taking a timely or impossible process for a family doctor to agree to discuss and come to terms with the school doctor. Even if you must do this process, at least this policy should say something like, a student may receive instruction immediately with a doctor's note in order to keep up their education. Though within 2 weeks, the district will have the right to a doctor-to-doctor discussion or a separate evaluation. I am disappointed with these requirements and hurdles the district seems to be putting in the way of sick children and getting homebound instruction. All of this sounds like the district simply being stubborn and stingy about serving families dealing with illness. And I wonder if all of the processes would pass muster legally at the state and federal level when played out in real life.
Thank you. Dr. Tornatore, could you please?
Thank you, Ms. Downs. So to answer Ms. Wilder's questions, there was no policy that existed. So it was very important to put a policy in place regarding homebound instruction. The policy committee did meet, and the decision was made to open this up to a committee of staff members who provided a tremendous amount of input to create the policy. And that, again, was then brought back to the policy committee to review and to formulate the policy. Of course, in keeping with state and federal regulations, as well as any recommendations from NISBA. And I do encourage Ms. Wilder that if she does have further questions, to please reach out to Dr. Galati, and he will be able to assist her.
Thank you. Now, move on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you. So I would like to begin by saying that we have a treat for the board this evening and for the audience. Our own Peyton Scudder, who is an Irish step dancer, had competed in Ireland and came in second place. She did a phenomenal job with her team, and she's here this evening to perform with another student, Evan Hubert, as well. So Peyton and Evan, if you could please come and join us, and we look forward to your performance. Well, you did a phenomenal job. So, of course, we always like to showcase our students and their achievements, and certainly we're very proud of Peyton and all of the work that she has put into the step dancing. So, moving along, there are some other items I'd like to share with the board and with the community. Over at Riley Avenue, they're looking forward to the holiday concert next week and the Winter Wonderland, which is sponsored by our PTO. And Riley wishes the school community a happy and healthy holiday season. Dr. Kerner and I had the pleasure of attending the Aquabog Elementary second grade turkey concert. It was absolutely adorable. A lot of smiling students and parents and guardians. It was just a really very, very wonderful experience to witness. So we were very proud of our students at Aquabog. Additionally, at Aquabog, they celebrated their second annual Superhero Day. School-wide event was created in a way to honor our dear colleague and friend, kindergarten teacher Ms. Carrie Stromsky, who passed away in 2021 on the anniversary of her birthday. Mrs. Stromsky taught us that anyone could be a hero to someone else. Students dress up as traditional superheroes, or anyone they feel is a hero to others or in their community. At Pulaski, there was a lot of great things that have been going on. So on November 21st, Pulaski celebrated the World Cup. Ms. McDonald's class conferenced with a primary school in Wales in the United Kingdom. They were very excited to make the World Cup for the first time since 1958. Each class took turns asking each other questions about our different cultures, schools, and school lunches. The staff and students wore jerseys supporting their favorite teams, so that was very exciting. The clubs have kicked off, and we have some new clubs this year. The Pulaski digital newspaper at Pulaski's Got Talent, and the Butterfly Effect group will begin in January. For the Harvest Dance, 300 tickets were sold, and Pulaski would like to thank the PTO and staff volunteers. The students had a wonderful time, and they also brought canned goods for food donations. It's also on our website with photos and on our Facebook page. Through generous donations, 50 Thanksgiving baskets were distributed to families, as well as donation of 3 large bins of food to St. Andrew's Church in Ms. Jablonski's memory. The Pulaski Street Student Council is collecting hats, gloves, and scarves for their giving tree. The items collected will be distributed to any Pulaski student who needs them, and donations will be accepted through the month of December. In keeping with the set plan commitments, many classrooms engaged in cultural celebrations. At the conclusion of their cultural units, students brought in dishes from their countries of heritage. This was a fantastic opportunity to recognize the diversity in our schools. We celebrated countries from all over the world and gathered as a community with our students' families. And in the spirit of Giving Tuesday, the Pulaski SES team is requesting donations of gift cards in $25 increments to local stores for our families to shop this holiday season. If staff members prefer to adopt a family, the SES team is able to assist in obtaining more specific donation information. At the middle school, on November 21st, Roanne Murphy, a youth motivational speaker, came to speak to the entire school in 2 separate assemblies. Mr. Murphy discussed positive life choices and the importance of a positive mindset to overcome adversity. On November 22nd, students took part in the Blue Wave Fun Day. The bell schedule is modified, and for the last 90 minutes of the day, 7th graders took part in a battle of the classes in the gym, while 8th grade students took part in activities and competitions in the cafeteria, while some students went to breakout rooms to take part in activities that interested them, and these activities were all coordinated by the teachers at each grade level. On November 30th, the middle school show choir will be singing duck carols at the Big Duck in Flanders to celebrate the holiday season as well. So lots of fun things going on at the middle school. Regarding the high school, in addition to the wonderful job that our student ambassadors did in sharing and spoke so eloquently, I also wanted to share that on Friday, December 2nd, the high school guidance department is hosting a field trip to Suffolk County Community College, the Eastern Campus, for our high school ENL students to expose them to ENL college options available at Suffolk. This trip was run in the past prior to COVID, but now we have 65 students who will be attending that as well. I also wanted to share with the board and with the community that we do have a resident in the community, Mr. Michael Corey. He has donated over $250,000 to our students every year for a running total of over $2.5 million towards the total cost of attendance at Stony Brook for any Riverhead graduate who has gained admission to Stony Brook and completed a simple 1-page scholarship application during their senior year at the high school. So we certainly thank him for his support and for providing this wonderful opportunity for our students. And to finish up with some security information that I wanted to share, there is a new traffic pattern for drop-offs and pickups at the middle school, and I haven't heard anything, so hopefully things have been going well. And we do want to thank Riverhead Police and our security and transportation departments to make this more efficient for our parents and guardians. We have additional cameras that are now online at the high school and the middle school. And in addition to that, we are installing cameras in the parking lots as well, and that should be completed this week. And Mr. Colhane and I had the pleasure of meeting with Sheriff Toulon and discussing partnering between the Sheriff's Office to provide additional support for our students at the high school and the middle school. They are formulating a plan now to send to me to review, and we hope that the partnership will begin in January. So we are looking forward to that as well. And I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Dr. Tornatore. Okay, so we're going to move on to consent agenda. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Matt. Could I have a second? Thank you, Colin. Any questions? Not seeing any. All in favor? Passes. Going to move on to new business.
Before we move on, Madam Vice President, can we at least congratulate Elena Philcox for her tenure? So just to be able to recognize So congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, Ms. Wilcox.
Alana, can you please come up so I can give you your certificate? There you go. Congratulations.
Okay, we're going to move on to new business. And letter A, approval of contract with Dr. Louis E. Mora, PDD. Could I have a motion? Motion. Thank you, Colin. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Virginia. Questions? Not seeing any. All in favor? Motion passes. Letter B, purchase of a Ford F-250 with plow for buildings and grounds using New York State OGS contract. Can I have a motion, please? Thank you, Virginia. Could I have a second? Thank you, Colin. Any questions? No questions? All in favor? Motion passes. Letter C, award contract to Laser Industries, Inc. for snow removal. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Matt. Could I have a second? Thank you, Colin. Any questions? Not seeing any. All in favor? Motion passes. Letter D, approval of 2 multi-year service agreements with ES BOCES. Could I have a motion? Thank you, Colin. Could I have a second? Thank you, Virginia. Any questions? Nope. All in favor? Motion passes. Letter E, approval of memorandum of agreement with Suffolk County's school bus stop armed camera program. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Matt. Could I have a second? Thank you, Colin. Any questions?
So I was reading through this contract, so it's going to be our responsibility to get out media to educate our districts, within our district, to make sure they're stopping with the school, with the whole stop on process.
Absolutely. And the great thing about this is that we are receiving funding to be able to provide additional protection and security for our students.
Okay, so, well, I know within there also, it is that we're, have to get out media, that we have to get things out on our website, things like that, so that we're able to educate the community about the whole stop on, and, right?
That is correct, but it is also within the district's discretion. But we do plan on providing that information to the community.
Thank you. So all in favor? Motion passes. Letter F, approval of second reading of new board policies. Number 2320, special meetings, and number 4327, homebound instruction. Can I have a motion, please? Thank you, Colin. Could I have a second? Oh, thank you, Virginia. Any questions?
No, I just wanted to comment on the homebound instruction, which has always been enshrined in educational regulations. And so when we devised this, having a policy on it, it's something that we've always been doing. And so what's encapsulated within here is just following protocols and regulations that have always been followed and other districts follow, correct?
Yes, but because we never had any type of policy prior, it was important to have something in writing as a policy from the board that staff would need to comply with and follow through with.
Right. I just know that the person that wrote in, I just want to reiterate that that we're not doing anything outside or that we've created anything new or taken anything away. This is something that we're doing, that other schools are doing, and that we're following New York State educational law and regulations.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No? All in favor? Motion passes. Letter G, approval of field trip. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Matt. Could I have a second? Thank you, Virginia. Any questions? All I know is everybody better go have fun. All in favor? Motion passes. Approval, disposal of surplus property. Can I have a motion, please? Thank you, Colin. Could I have a second? Thank you, Virginia. Questions? Not seeing any. All in favor? Passes. Opportunity for board members. We got committee. Mr. Palmer? Policy committee, please.
So on November 22nd, the policy committee met. In attendance were myself, Ms. Downs, and Dr. Galati. We reviewed the following policies, beginning with sample policies involving computer use and instruction and internet safety. It's a recommendation of the policy committee for Mr. Paul Caputo, technology consultant for the district, to review these policies and then share with the policy committee recommendations and upgrades for the policy committee to consider and take action. Concerning 5252, the Student Activities Fund Management, 6700, Purchasing, 6700-R.1, Purchasing Regulation, 6700-E.1, Purchasing Exhibit. It's been determined by the policy committee that these policies are in keeping with the mission and vision of the Riverhead Central School District and do not warrant any modifications, upgrades, or changes. Now, concerning policy 5205, eligibility for co-curricular and extracurricular activities, a committee of administrators and coaches representing the middle school and high school reviewed the existing Board of Ed policy and suggestions made by the New York State School Board Association on November 1st, 2022. The NYSBA suggestion was to provide additional background notes on handling student behavior as it pertains to student personal expression, a citation to the Supreme Court ruling on the topic, and a statement regarding non-discrimination. It's the recommendation of this committee for the policy committee to embed existing Board of Ed policy into the suggested policy from NYSBA to best support academic importance, appeal proceedings, attendance, and conduct, specifically to keep sections 1, 2, and 3 from the existing policy. So nothing being removed, just being added. Concerning staff development 9700, it's a recommendation of the policy committee that where it states in the policy superintendent of schools to also add and/or his/her designee. Concerning policy 4321, programs for students with disabilities under the IDEA and New York, this policy has been shared with Ms. Carol Pedisic, interim director of PPS. Ms. Pedisic made necessary upgrades and revisions to the existing policy to be shared with the policy committee for their review. The policy committee is in agreement with her recommendations and upgrades and accept such changes to the policy. And finally, in regards to policy 6690, the audit committee, it's the recommendation of the policy committee to add in the first paragraph, sentence 3, the following. In addition, the Board of Education will appoint a member of the community in good standing who has a career in banking, accounting, financial investments, and securities, or a school business official from another district to best guide and support the audit committee in making financial decisions and advisement for the district. And that was our meeting.
Thank you. Ms. Healy.
Health and Safety Committee met November 16th at the Riverhead High School Library with a lot of attendees, which I will name because they showed up, so they should be named. Lori Downs, myself, Dr. Tonatori, Laura Curie, our assistant principal, Peter Brown, a guard, Patrick Burke, another principal, Terry Colhane, our director of safety and security, Lieutenant Jonathan Devereaux at the Riverhead Police Department, Arlene Dukowski, director of personnel, Colette Firkt, Co-Director of Transportation, Al Galena, Directors of Facilities, Jean Grimm, an Assistant Principal, Joe Jasinski, a Chief Custodian, and he's also at the Flanders Fire District Chief, Sonia Johnson, Guard, and the CSEA President, Beth Menace, a teacher at Riley, Brian Miltenberg, a principal, Garrett Moore, a teacher at the high school, Leslie Moore, Co-Director of Transportation, Christine Nanini, ES BOCES Safety, Kellyanne Pilato, Assistant Principal at the high school, Edie Reisenberg, a nurse, Brian Sachs, Director of Health, Phys Ed Athletics, and Jennifer Simoes, a teacher, and RCFA Vice President. So first, we heard from Buildings and Grounds. AED compliance progress, Ms. Nanini from ES BOCES reviewed the records for the PAD program and AED inventory. She visited some of the school buildings to inspect the AED equipment for quality and expiration dates. She'll be visiting the remaining school buildings. The AED equipment for athletics will be inspected as well. A plan will be developed in order to have a high level of compliance. In addition, Mr. Galena will create a plan to define who will be responsible for checking the AED equipment monthly and to ensure consistency. Water fountains district-wide have been returned to service from previous COVID restrictions. 6 new bottle fill stations will be installed at the high school, replacing old chiller units previously out of service due to failed lead testing. Exterior doors at Aquabog School and the high school south portables have been replaced with automatic locking doors. When someone enters with a key, the door will lock when it is closed. The interior doors will also be automatic locking doors. The parts have been ordered but are on back order due to supply shortage. New entrance gates at the high school's North Star Academy are being installed. A panic bar operated pedestrian gate will be the new east entrance, allowing only exit egress in the event of an emergency. The west entrance gate will be locked manually after student arrivals. Both gates will remain locked during school hours to prevent unauthorized entry, which will increase security. Quotes have been received for the eventual replacement of classroom doors at Roanoke Avenue and Riley Avenue schools. Mr. Galena is working with Dr. Assay to secure funding for the project. Then we heard from the security department. Ms. Downs was approached by parents requesting metal detectors or hand wands for the middle school and high school. The committee discussed that overall safety in the high school has improved compared to what it was several years ago. Recently, there was a police incident that occurred on school grounds, and the district was not informed prior to it happening. The school guards intercepted because they had no knowledge that there was an undercover police officer involved in the incident. Dr. Tornatori and Mr. Culhane spoke with the chief of police, who assured them that in the future the district would be notified when incidents will be taking place on school grounds. Lieutenant Devereaux explained that it was a difficult and fast-moving situation. He understands the district's concerns, which he will share with the police chief. Ms. Downs asked Lieutenant Devereaux if the police could visit the schools in their sector, drop in and visit with the students. If the students see the police more, they would be more familiar with the officers, which would increase their trust and comfort level. The police will not be viewed as the, quote, bad guys. Dr. Tornatori stated that he is very grateful for the service that the police provide for the community, and he feels that the district should invite them to more events. Lieutenant Devereaux responded that he would share the suggestions and that the police have been involved with the Council for Unity Club for 15 years. Dr. Tornatori stated there was a need for additional streetlights on Harrison Avenue between the high school and the district office. He is concerned for the safety of students because it gets dark earlier this time of year. Mr. Culhane will follow up with the town engineering department. Security update, 50 new cameras are being installed, which are funded by a grant. The district has approved a capital project earlier this year, which will provide security cameras, card access systems, and door sensors at all school buildings. The architect has completed walkthroughs and assessments of all buildings and submitted plans on the New York State Education Department for approval. The bid is being prepared so that it would be awarded in the spring, and the project will begin at the end of this school year. And Dr. Tornatori already spoke about this, but on November 28th, a new process will be implemented for student drop-offs and pickups at the middle school. The process will increase safety and efficiency. All buses will be in a double lane in front of the building, and parents will enter from the North Griffin Avenue entrance, drop off students at a designated area, and exit through the Harrison Avenue entrance. The town will be changing the timing of the traffic light on Harrison Avenue during these times of day. There will be a traffic officer at Harrison Avenue and also at Cranberry Street to assist with the flow of traffic. In addition, the school buses at Pulaski Street School will need to release students quickly. And then we heard from the Transportation Department. Consultants from Transpar spent an entire week with the Transportation Department. They are reviewing routes, shared services, union contract, attendance, and staffing throughout the department. They have met with many transportation employees to gather information. They will have their first report completed on November 28th. Bus Patrol is the program for the stop arm cameras on school buses. Between June 2021 and December 2021, there were 593 tickets issued for vehicles passing stopped school buses within the Riverhead Central School District area. So it's like in 6 months, over 600 tickets, about 600 tickets. Bus drills will take place during December 2023. Or did you mean 2022? 2022. The Transportation Department will be contacting the building principals to schedule the bus drills. There is an increase with students misbehaving on school buses. Some of the drivers feel threatened by the students. Small weapons and vapes have been found on the school buses. Security is working with the Transportation Department to resolve these issues. TSA and Homeland Security will be coming to the district. They educate the transportation employees on security and the importance of bus checks. As part of the training, backpacks are hidden in the buses for the drivers to look for during bus checks. There are a few school buses that have been outsourced. The police department will be using them for canine training. On Superintendent's Conference Day, the transportation employees received a culture of change, professional development. The session focused on improving relationships with students. Scenarios were reviewed, and it was discussed the impact that school bus drivers and school bus monitors have on students. Many of the transportation employees actively participated during the session, and very positive feedback was received from the employees. And the next meeting will be February 15th. And this is a very long meeting. A lot gets done, but you won't have to listen to those long minutes until end of February.
Thank you. RCFA? Good evening, Mr. Wallace.
Good evening. How are you?
Great.
That's good to hear. It's been a while. Hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. First of all, we'd like to congratulate Mrs. Philcox on her tenure. And the association would also like to take the opportunity to recognize and thank our mentor coordinator, Tammy Michelson, as well as the faculty mentors. They provide an invaluable service to our new professionals. They not only help them develop their craft, they help our new professionals navigate the nuances and complexities of being a new employee in this district. And we've had a lot of new employees. We're one of the few school districts in Suffolk County that's actually been expanding enrollment. And without their help, it's just invaluable what they do. And they do a great job for the new teachers. And without them, I don't know where the new teachers would be. So I think it's important to recognize the work that they do. Thank you.
Thank you. Opportunity for RIA, Ms. Lisa.
This is sent in from Mr. Payton and Mr. Enos. RA will cede its scheduled time on the board agenda this evening. They do not have a report.
Thank you. Opportunity for a public comment. Anybody? Up to the podium. Not seeing anybody. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Thank you, Colin. Second, Matt.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Have a good evening, everybody. Safe trip home.
Please help support the Riverhead Central School District YouTube channel by subscribing. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, please be sure to push that subscribe button and click the bell to receive notifications. Thank you.